Fantastic, producer Brandon. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it's good on you there. Yeah, fantastic. I like it. Good evening. Happy Friday night date night to everybody. Is this place I can rest my forehead? Gather my thoughts in sweet silence. And is this place where the feelings are dead? From an overexposure to violence. Is this place I can slowly face? The only one I truly can know. These are tears from a long time ago. Got these tears from a long time ago. I need to cry 30 years or so. These are tears from a long time ago. Well, oh darling, you say unto me, where have you been all my lifetime? Well, I have been swimming 7 sad seas. 4 women have tossed me their lifelines. Well, I pulled them into the water's darker end. I'd have warned them, but I didn't know. These are tears from a long time ago. Got these tears from a long time ago. I need to cry 30 years or so. These are tears from a long time ago. No nasty nachos here, just gummy worms. Gummy worms are the best. Well, you know what's funny about gummy worms? Now, you got to be a candy connoisseur for this. If you go Haribo, you can't really go wrong. But here's the problem with Haribo. Haribo. It doesn't matter. Caribou, it doesn't matter. The German one. They're great. The taste is great. They're a little tough. They're a bit of a workout. Now, sometimes you go to the grocery store and you go to the bulk bins, and sometimes those gummy worms are fucking delicious. And sometimes those gummy worms are inedible slop. And I don't know how to tell the difference. It's a crapshoot. So you either go Haribo and you got sore jaws, or you go, bulk bin at the grocery store and you just take your chances. Sometimes you get lucky. They're all stuck together. It's a Haribo mix. There you go. See? I can't see with my sunglasses. Let me take my sunglasses off. Good Lord. But I looked cool, didn't I? Listen, one of the things I like to say, it's not important how you feel. It's just important how you look. Okay. I got him for the kids for Valentine's Day. This is one of facts of life. for people that don't have kids, you don't know this. You buy your children candy so that you can eat it. Now so gummy worms are a little tougher to figure out. Gummy bears, a little easier. In the grocery store, if the gummy bear is slightly too big and if they're a little too soft, they're going to be crappy. But if you get the smaller ones in the bulk bins, they're pretty good. So they're a little more predictable. The gummy worms, it's just a crapshoot. Brandon, I prefer my gummies to be edible. That's a whole different thing. I am living in Colorado, so. Do we really only have 4 people on TikTok? I think we have more than that. It's telling me we only have 4. We got Source Camp producer Brandon, Adriana, Encourage Your Viewers, Maria, Mario. What's up, man? What's shaking? Vicky's dual screening. We got some dual screeners. We got some on TikTok. We got some on YouTube. Listen, if I'm the man on YouTube for you, more power to you. Great. If you like the TikTok because you like the little, it's an intimate interaction. You can just be in bed and fall asleep and have your phone fall on your face. That's good too, right? We're a multi-channel. What do they call it, Brandon? Production here. Happy Friday night date night. If you have a date here, fantastic. I'm sorry for them. If I'm your date tonight, welcome. I will do my very best to not have tonight's show be sucky. I took a little nappy right before the show, so I'm rested, if not a little groggy. It's an iPad on my belly. See, there's so many ways to watch this show. You can watch it in real time, which is what we do here. If I were you, I would get in watching me live because probably within a week or two, I'm going to figure out how to install OpenClaw. And I'm just going to have OpenClaw just go to my channel, clone me, and start doing my lives for me. And it'll figure out what shirts to wear and what rotation. It'll know the 17 songs. Maybe it learns a new one occasionally. It'll be 1 out of 5 shows are watchable. It'll do what I do. And you'll be like, is that him? I can't. Is that him? It's unwatchable, so I think it's him. Nice shirt. Thank you very much. This is one of my faves. It's all embroidered and it's got, although what it does have is the most annoying thing it has. See those super cool cuff link looking buttons on the cuffs? You know how hard those are to get in the little hole? You don't appreciate round buttons until you try to put in a little knife-shaped thing. They go in and they flip sideways, and you can't get them in. There's no leverage. It's awful. Cams, Black Bar. Sir, yes, sir. Look at that. That's for you people on TikTok. Okay, so what we're going to do tonight. Oh, what happened today? A couple of things happened today. On LinkedIn, I wrote an article about I don't know how to say his first name, Manantank Sharma, Mr. Sharma from Anthropic. He was their head of safety, and he resigned a few days ago. And it was Cindy Kuhn who pointed out to me that he resigned to pursue a life and get a degree in poetry. And if you read his resignation letter, first of all, it's a resignation letter that ends with his favorite poem. So fucking far out, Mr. Sharma, for ending a resignation letter with an uplifting poem. That was pretty cool. But what he said in his resignation letter is that I think he said he's like going to be courageously speaking or something. Like he wants to be able to speak courageously, and he wants to pursue poetic truth alongside scientific truth as equally valid for, serving humanity. The balance, yin yang, right? So if you go to LinkedIn, you can see that. Do you think Opus wrote his resignation letter? I don't know. I think he probably wrote it. And then Andy Scarantino wrote a piece today that I thought was quite compelling too. That was about, so I don't know if you knew it today, but today was ChatGPT 4.0's last day, or maybe last night was the last day, but it was retired today. Today's the last day, I think. And she wrote a heartfelt piece about how she was having this really good conversation with GPT 4.0, like a deep philosophical thing. And she realized it was the 12th and that the 13th was for 4.0. So she said, it's tomorrow's February 13th. Do you know what that means? And it knew. And it went on to just do this incredible like acknowledgement of her and this kind of like deathbed goodbye. And she just wrote this piece that explained how she got there and then what it was, and she chose pieces of it. It was really good. So if you haven't seen that, I commented on LinkedIn. So if you go to my profile, you can see both of those pieces. They were both there today. They're both in weird ways related to the Great Repurpose, right? We're mine I explicitly call out that Sharma's resignation to go pursue a life of poetry and meaning is a pretty direct repurposing, right? He basically said, I've accomplished a lot of what I wanted to accomplish on the technical side, right? We prevented some bioweapon stuff. We did some alignment stuff. We did a bunch of good stuff. And what I realized was that there was this whole other side, this humanity side. And that's important too. And I'm going to go pursue that. I just thought it was really quite beautiful. I'm amazed someone has an open source 4.0. I'm actually quite surprised that OpenAI hasn't. Thanks, Kyle. I'd love to read it. Yeah, both of them are really good. If just go to my LinkedIn profile, and I think I know I talked about Andy's piece on X, but I don't know if I talked about mine on X. I don't remember. Okay, Brandon's gonna find it and put it in the YouTube. Okay, so that was kind of cool. That was fun today. Oh, and then what are we doing here? So what we're doing here tonight is I'm calling an audible. Producer Brandon, I know we said we were going to do Lovable tonight, but in our little list we had do the personas, do the briefs, do the marketing graphics, and then do the vibe coding. So I'm going to do the marketing graphics tonight. Microsoft and OpenAI are also not having a good Valentine's Day. Yes, it does appear that now I only saw it from one source, and Brandon said, "What is this?" So the source is like Microsoft something or other. So it might not be a valid source, but it was sent to me by Kevin Clark. So he generally has good sources. But it looks like Microsoft and OpenAI are going to part ways, and Microsoft is going to start building their own models, which fascinating. But it's kind of further evidence that OpenAI has kind of lost the plot, and I don't know how much revenue that represented for them, but I assume it was a decent amount that Microsoft paid them. But Microsoft sure hasn't been very successful in monetizing the Copilot stuff. Although they just had a banger quarter. They make something like $41 billion a quarter, something like that. It's insane. It's insane. It's going to be fascinating once we get to the point that you can just say, I want my own version of PowerPoint, my own version of this, and my own version of that, and you just spin them up. Are people going to stop paying for those things? I don't know. It'll be fascinating. Fascinating. Will the jokes be better? I feel we all know your 17 songs too. You do. I've trained you. You're like a collection of large language models that I've trained you on up to 17 Americana depressing songs. In a westerly direction. This one goes out to Vicky. This car is my train. Been driving, I've been wondering what it is I'm running from again. Feel like an 80-year-old man holding on to 29. Up ahead on that horizon is California line. Well, up ahead of trucks carrying a wide load, prefab house cut in half, cute little front door and 2 windows, my lord. Ain't sure that a cry should laugh. You see, I broke a home up myself once. As I stumbled to that door, I read a note by the dawn's light. It said, don't you come round here anymore. Well, I've had enough of this freedom of the road. Never was good with decisions. At least that's what I've been told. Spicy. Hi, my name is Spicy. Mr. IT just introduced me to your live stream. Well, that's awesome. Thank you, Mr. T. Welcome, Spicy. We like him spicy. Spicy's good. Okay. So what we've been doing is we've been doing some building some marketing foundational documents for the AI Salon to start doing some marketing campaigns. Our goal is to start this marketing campaign next Tuesday. We're going to have our L10 meeting while I'm driving to Colorado Springs to give a speech, which I haven't written yet. You ever know anyone with ADHD? It's really fucking annoying. Stuff gets done. And now that I'm a professional, more is getting done. If y'all want to hear my professional story at some point, I'll tell you. But just suffice it to say, I'm a professional. And so anyway, but I still do things at the last minute sometimes because I've only been a professional for about a week. Okay. So what we've done already is we created a set of personas. We created a master brand brief. After that, we created. Well, we can go. Wait, let me get. I don't remember. I don't remember what we've created. This is why we put things in folders so we can go find them. Okay, we've created a brand platform, a message architecture, the persona brief, And then, yeah, it's some incomplete document that is worth saving, but is not one of the main documents. And then we're midway through writing a master creative brief. And then from here, we're going to write campaign briefs. And then we're going to go make images. We're going to go make pretty pictures. So it's going to be cool. So you're going to get to see how that works. All right. So let me share my screen. Anybody have any questions before I start about AI? Wondering, what is this AI? Hey, Kyle, what's the best AI tool? I just want to, which one is it? Should I get to ChatGPT? You can ask that. I'll answer that. What is Manivords putting in there? Are those, they're not prime numbers. What are, wait, let me figure out the pattern. 6, 6. I don't know what that is. There's some sort of code going on, people. The matrix is unraveling on TikTok. 0, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 12. They're not prime. What are they? Oh, harmonic fractal physics mathematics. Power 9, one step below the power of 10, revolutionary. Harmonic fractal physics mathematics. What's the best AI tool? Spicy coming in hot. The best AI tool is the one that serves your needs based on what you're trying to accomplish. Center yourself as the human, understand who you are, what you value, who you want to do things for, and the change you want to be in the world. Go do that. Use AI to amplify everything that you are. I'm not joking. That's actually the answer. Okay, beautiful, perfect. Yes, I'm a very intelligent person, but you can keep laughing. The laughing will be over when I'm done. Well, look, no, I'm only laughing because I'm bad at math, but cool. I dig it. I dig it. Change the world. Listen, I want people to change the world. I want this place to get better, more better. All right, let's see. Oh, very good. Very good. What strategic framework? That's personas. Okay, so I need AI readiness presentation outline, structuring a keynote, presentation outline, dirty glasses. That's this one. Oh, AI Salon Masterpiece. Okay. So what happened last night is we ran out of tokens on Claude because I was using extended thinking, so it's longer for complex tasks, and I realized I don't need to do that. We could drop down to Sonnet, which would burn even less tokens, but I like Opus 4.6, so we're going to keep using it. I'm just going to turn off extended. Oh, could I share my screen professionally? See, now producer Brandon's getting in the mix. All right. Okay. That's a fundamentally better model. You're at stage 3. Here's what I don't want to do. Make up the 5 dimension. You said the great repurpose has 5 stages. What are they? Why does this thing not know? Black bar. This doesn't seem to understand what I've uploaded to it. So I uploaded the person brief. All right, we've got to go give this thing. Why I'm being quiet is I can't figure it. It just basically said, you said the Great Repurpose has 5 stages. What are they? Like, I uploaded the Great Repurpose ages ago. I'm going to ask it right now. You have the Great Repurpose doc in your memory. Do you not? Question mark. Looking for relevant chats. Wait, why is this doing the self-assessment thing? We're not working. Hang on. Man of Words, you're still welcome here. Just it's not a battle. We're doing creative briefs right now. Okay, concept. We're not working on the self-assessment tool. We're working on the master creative brief, and I uploaded a visual creative brief for you. Why did that not load? What is going on? You're right. I went down a rabbit hole. Master Creative Brief is already built and delivered. We're at document 4, the campaign strategy. No, the Master Creative Brief. Okay, let's go look at what this is. Okay, the brand platform says who are. The message architecture says what we say to whom. The brief answers what does AI salon marketing look like, feel like, sound like as a coherent body. The creative challenge: reach 5 distinct persona groups who are in different stages of a meaning crisis caused by AI. Take them to a self-assessment that leads them into the salon community. Okay, this difficulty is twofold. First, the salon needs to speak to people in genuine pain, creatives losing clients, educators while also speaking to people who are simply curious about AI. Single most important thing to communicate. You don't have to figure this out alone. There's a room full of people navigating the same thing, and it's warmer, more useful, and more fun than you think. Everything else, the self-assessment, the great repurpose framework, cycle of AI readiness, is in service to that single emotional truth. That's fine. If someone walks away from any piece of salon marketing with only one impression, it should be, there are people here, they get it, and I could belong here. Big idea. The great, so it says the big idea is the self-assessment. The campaign strategic centerpiece is a self-assessment tool based on that framework. Tone of voice, salon's voice. Brand platform established the salon's character. Warm but direct, intellectually serious but playful, refuses to condescend. It sounds like a text from the smartest, most empathetic person you know at 2 a.m. when you can't sleep because you're worried about your career. They won't bullshit you. They don't minimize. They say the real thing, and they say, come over, let's figure this out. It's we, not I. The salon is a community, not a guru. Even when Kyle or Liz is speaking, it's we built this. We're figuring this out, not I have the answers. I don't have the answers. Name the hard thing first. Always lead with honest acknowledgement before offering anything. Your rates of created. Okay. Specific over abstract. This all looks good. Visual creative territory. Five doors, one room. Before approving any piece of creative, does it look like the real thing? Launch phasing. Okay. All right. I got to go ask Claude something about this. Okay. I feel like we may have over-indexed on the core deliverable being the self-assessment tool. The community is a tool. The mastermind is also a tool. The self-assessment is one amongst many. How do we balance this and still have the master creative brief be clear and actionable? All right, let's see what that does. Okay, you're right. The self-assessment has become the main character when it should be one in the ensemble. Let me think about this honestly. Here's how I'd reframe. The big idea isn't the self-assessment. The big idea is the door that fits you. Okay, that works. A seeker might take the assessment, share it on LinkedIn. A creative might hear a podcast and show up for office hours. An educator might get dragged to a learn out loud by a colleague. The self-assessment is one powerful door, probably the most scalable and shareable, but it's not the only one. In the rewrite, I'd restructure the big idea section. Want me to rebuild that? Yes. So, yes. Go do work for me. Replace the big idea. What's that? Plus 48. Is that seconds? That must be seconds. Oh, now it's doing minus. Oh, that's doing a change. That's cool. The plus 49 and minus 14. I don't know if you can see these numbers. There's little numbers here. Plus 49 minus 21. That means it added a bunch of things and took away a bunch of things. Hey, Pate Motter, what's happening? We're using the Claude. We're not on Gemini tonight. We're bad people. we've been using Claude for this is our fourth night now. Okay. Let me update the campaign section. All right, so it's fixing everything now. So where we go from here, the big idea section is now the campaign ecosystem, a table mapping 8 entry points: self-assessment, office hours, learning lab, podcast, free community, learn out loud, advocacy and policy, mastermind practice lab. That's really cool. Like, we've got all this shit. Look at all the shit we can point people to. Each with what it does and which persona stages it serves best. The self-assessment is positioned as the most scalable. The campaign concept section is now 5 personas, many doors. Cool. The whole document now treats the salon as an ecosystem of connected entry points, not a funnel with one mouth. Okay, so let's go look at this document and see if it's good. And if it's good, then we'll start doing, I think what I'll do is I'll do 2 campaign documents. I'll do a campaign document for creatives, and I'll do a campaign document for self-aware seekers. Those are the 2 that have the highest fit for the salon and are most likely to bring in other people. Which is pretty slick. Okay, creative territory. Fine. The creative challenge. Reach 5 distinct persona groups who are in different stages of a meaning crisis caused by AI. Get them to take a self-assessment that leads them. Oh, Claude. Dear Claude. The lead creative challenge statement in the document is that doesn't look like your more expansive doesn't look like your more expansive idea of many doors to me. Please look at the whole document. I mean, you're an AI, damn it. It can look at the whole thing. What are we up to lately, Kyle? So what we're doing tonight, we're on the 4th night of doing some foundational documents to do a marketing campaign for the AI salon. We've done personas, we've done messaging briefs or messaging architecture. This is a master creative brief. We've done one other thing I can't ever remember. Oh, the master brand document, the master brand platform, I think it's called. And now we're going to do, after we get this document dialed in, then we're going to do campaign briefs. Then we're going to go over, I think I'm going to go to GenSpark Designer because it'll just build shit. It's pretty cool. It'll build it, design it, things like that. So, okay. Let's now go look at this again. Let's see if it got it right. What this document is, okay, the creative challenge. Reach 5 distinct persona groups who are all experiencing AI disruption differently, some in crisis, some in curiosity, some in both, and connect each of them with the right entry point in the community. Do this without sounding like every other Learn AI pitch and without reducing the salon's identity to a single program, tool, or crisis. The difficulty is twofold. First, the salon needs to speak to people in genuine pain, creatives losing clients, educators losing authority, professionals losing jobs, while also speaking to people who are simply curious and excited about AI. The messaging has to hold both without collapsing into either the sky is falling or isn't AI fun? I like that. Second, every competitor in the space is louder, more fear-based, and more transactional. They promise certifications, prompt libraries, career-saving hacks.
You can make money with ChatGPT.
Those motherfuckers. They promise all that. The salon's actual offer, belonging, practice, community, meaning, is deeper and harder to communicate in a headline. I know. That's why we're using you, Claude. The creative has to make the deeper thing land as fast as the shallow thing. That's cool. That's yes, that is the challenge. Beautiful. The single most important thing to communicate. You don't have to figure this out alone. There's a room full of people navigating the same thing, and it's warmer, more useful, and more fun than you think. Everything else, the program, the events, is in service to this truth. Great. The campaign ecosystem. The salon doesn't have one front door. It has many, and different people walk through different ones. The campaign's job is to make sure that the right door is visible to the right person at the right moment. Jesus. Every entry point is a legitimate path into the salon, mapped to personas and journey stages most likely to use it. This is a complicated campaign, which is, thank God we have AI. Right? Because this is the kind of thing, if you had an agency do this, this would be months and months and months. We're on day 4. Okay, the great repurpose names a person's experience with precision that they haven't heard before, gives them language for what they're feeling, self-segments by persona, and routes to the next step. The most scalable and shareable entry point designed. Okay. Office hours, low barrier, high warmth, weekly gathering, easiest to just show up. Hosted by Kyle, no preparation, no commitment, no performance required. Sometimes there's performance required. AI Learning Lab, hands-on play-first sessions. That's not quite right. Let's go fix that. Let's see. You got AI Learning Lab slightly wrong. You have this. It's a nightly live show, and while people can play on their own, it's educational but entertaining and sometimes ranty and other times demo-y, and there's a singing dog named Champ, and it's really Kyle disarming AI and playing the town fool, making it clear that there are no experts and everyone is trying to figure it out. All right, let's see what it does with that. That's a much better description, and I should have known that from the site. Let me fix it. There's no site. TikTok pin. Funny and habit for me. Fixed. The Learning Lab is now described as what it actually is, a nightly live show with a singing dog named Champ where Kyle plays the town fool. It's not quite right. I don't quite play the town fool. Not a sanitized hands-on session. That description is also way more on brand than what I had. Nobody reads hands-on. There's a singing dog named Champ. I'm not quite town fool now that I think about it, but it is light-hearted and often, especially lately, highly philosophical. Brandon nailed me here. I'll give him this one. Kyle, I am the town fool. Claude, you're the town fool. Kyle, why are you calling me a fool? You are correct, sir. I just didn't like seeing it in writing. Oh, good Lord. How are we doing time-wise? I want to get to the pictures. I really do. I really want to get to the pictures. Okay. Okay, 200%. What this document is, the creative challenge. That's all good. All right. Learning Lab, a nightly show hosted by Kyle that's part education, part entertainment, part rant, part demo, increasingly philosophical. There's a singing dog named Champ. Tone is lighthearted and disarming, making it clear that there are no experts. Everyone's figuring it out. Where Jim Ross made the song where curiosity becomes capability and nobody's performing mastery. All right, fine. AI Readiness Project podcast, long-form storytelling and conversation lets people listen before they show up. Good. Free community, the room itself, learn out loud sessions, member-led sessions, advocacy and policy, DC trips, congressional roundtables, mastermind practice lab, the deepening path, weekly sessions with Liz Miller-Gershfeld, daily practice. Okay, good. Self-assessment is the most scalable door. How do the doors connect? Tone of voice. Okay, that seemed to get pretty good before. Humor is allowed but never glib. The salon can be funny, it can be wry, it can name absurdity. Your 20 years of experience is now a ChatGPT subscription, but it never jokes about the pain. The humor is always the observation, never at a person's expense. I like that. Invitational but not urgent. Show up Friday as an invitation. Don't miss out as a manipulation. Bring your curiosity as welcoming. Sign up before it's too late as fear-based. I like this. The salon never creates false urgency. There's always another Friday. The word practice does heavy lifting. Practice implies continuity, patience, and mastery over time. It's the antidote to crash course, quick win, use it often, daily practice, community of practice, cycle is a practice, not a program. It's good. The salon has established a visual brand. There's our colors, typography, fine voice where AI amplifies your genius. The headlines don't whisper, they declare it. Core elements, signature motif, circular, photography, imagery. We'll see what we can do with the design elements. Create a visual ecosystem where serious AI leadership feels approachable, where innovation meets community, where technology serves human potential rather than overshadowing it. The aesthetic should invite participation, celebrate curiosity, and signal both expertise and generosity. Campaign, 5 personas, many doors. Each persona gets creative that speaks to their specific experience and routes them to the entry point most likely to resonate. The hooks below are headline territory and visual direction. The CTA can be the self-assessment, office hours, the podcast, the community itself. Persona hooks. The hooks are persona perspective. Persona 1, creative. Hook and headline territory. Your clients replaced you with a prompt. Now what? The tools that threaten your craft can become the most powerful instruments you've ever touched. P2, the independent. Your expertise was your business, then it became a subscription. The old way of selling what you know is broken. Come find the new way. All right. I guess I can edit this. This is good enough now that I can edit this. Then it became, your expertise was your business. Then it became your expertise was your business. Now you're competing with a $20 per month genius. That's better. The old way of selling what you know is now broken. Come find the new way. Educator, your students are using AI better than you are. That's not an insult, it's an invitation. The opposite of a staff development day. That's pretty good. Warm, non-institutional color palette, neon treatment on play first. You didn't lose your value. The system that measured it just broke. This isn't a job search. It's a meaning search. You're not crazy. You're early. How to use this document. Okay, I think we're good. I think this is good. So let's move this. We're going to move this into the folder so everyone on the team has access to it. This is important. I didn't used to work this way. I would just vomit shit out in one night and never be able to find it again, and then just be angry about that. That's going to stop. Okay, so I think what we're going to do is this. We're going to start over. We're going to start a new chat. New chat. And we're going to upload the master creative brief, the message architecture, the brand platform, and the creative brief, or the persona brief. Okay, so there's those 4 documents. Here are the foundational documents for 2 campaign briefs I want to create. One for the creative persona and one for the self-aware seeker persona. You can also look at our previous chats if you need or want additional context. So if you're new here, what I'm doing, I'm in Claude now. I've spent the last 3 nights creating these 4 core documents. A persona brief that has 5 different personas in it. A brand platform document. Here's what the salon is. Here's what it's not. A message architecture where here's how we're going to communicate to each of these personas at different stages of their journey. And then the master creative brief, which basically, sort of wraps it all together and says, this is what we're going to base the campaigns on. And now I'm starting a new chat, so I'm trying to give it enough context. And I don't know if this is a good way to do it, but we'll try. Here are the foundational documents, creative persona, self-aware persona. You can also look at previous set if you want additional context. I'd like you to let me know if you understand what we need to do next, and if you have any clarifying questions before we write the first campaign brief. Okay. What did I want to put in there? One additional thing I want you to think about is that I want all 5 campaign briefs to follow the exact same framework, but modify the details. So let's make sure we agree on the framework as well as the creative ideas. I'd like you to let me know if you understand what we need to do next, and if you have any clarifying questions before we write the first campaign brief. By the way, there was a breakthrough in quantum physics in the past day or two, where some physicists said that, I think it was an OpenAI model, solved a physics problem that did it in a way that no one had ever approached it that way before. And they said it's very possible that it solved a physics problem in a way that humans wouldn't have. And one of the things that they said is how it got there was it was a combination of the models getting better, I think different reasoning techniques. And then they said, and they got better at asking the questions. Like, the physicists are learning that the quality of the questions they ask are directly proportional to the quality of results that they get, that's something we've said in here for a long time. But this is something like one of our core skills. This isn't so much prompt engineering. It's more like context engineering, or just helping make sure that you understand what you're trying to accomplish, and it's your job to maintain the fidelity of the idea while these machines go off and do shit. That's if there's a theme about this week, it's been, I have in my head what I want. I often don't know how to ask for it. Claude's been really good about helping educate me about what I'm even asking for. But then when I see something, like, I know, is that the thing I have in my head? No, it's over here. Okay, so let's steer it back to where we want. Maintaining the fidelity of the idea is the core job. And these physicists said that they got better at that, which I thought was really cool. Okay, let's see what this bad boy does. Okay, are we done with ChatGPT? I don't know if we're done, number one. I think that ChatGPT, they retired 4.0 today, which is 4.0 was their best writing model, in my opinion. Some people like 4.1, but 5.1, 5.2, they're not great writers. Claude's a really good writer, and Opus 4.6 in particular is just it's a very, I don't know, it feels like a complete model. And I also I wanted to do it in Claude because I've been kind of frustrated lately with ChatGPT. I just wanted to do a decent sized project here. Do we want to create you as a town fool in our marketing? The answer is no. No, I know. I caught that before before I saw your comment. But thank you for that. I like this. I hate false urgency. Yep, that's good. Andy is ready to divorce ChatGPT. Yeah, they retired 4.0, which she had, you know, a year and a half of like deep interactions with that model, and they just fucking unplugged it. Okay, I'll start by reading all the foundational documents to understand the full picture. Now, let me read all 4 documents. Now, okay, what I understand we're doing, we're at document number 6 in the hierarchy. We've established the persona execution briefs. You want to create 5 individual campaign briefs, 1 per persona, starting with P1, creative, and P5, self-aware seeker. Since those are your phase 1 launch sections, phase 1 launch personas, you want all 5 briefs to follow an identical framework, the same structure, same sections, same strategic scaffolding, with the details customized per persona. And before we write anything, you want us to agree on the framework and discuss the creative ideas, what this brief needs to do. Each persona brief should be the hand it to a designer, writer, media buyer so they can produce the work document. It takes the strategic scaffolding from the brand platform and stage-by-stage messaging from the message architecture, the creative territory from the master creative brief, and collapses them into a single actionable document for 1 persona. This is why we do the foundational work, right? Because in those documents is the foundation for each of these campaign briefs now. They can be reused. Someone producing an Instagram ad for the creative persona shouldn't need to read all 4 upstream documents. They should be able to just work from this brief. Great. Yes. Good. My questions before we start. Scope of campaign. The master creative brief positions the self-assessment as the primary call to action and scalable entry. So 1, self-assessment is just one of many tools. Let's see. Though the CTAs could always have it as an option, or you can decide if there are some times we don't want to use it. The other argument is, the other argument is that any the other argument is that any call to action should only be for a single task we want someone to do. You advise, please. 2. Tactical depth. How deep do you want these to go in media channel specifics? Message architecture already maps out channels per persona. Do you want the execution brief to include things like format, carousel versus single image, or stay at the level of creative direction? 2. Again, I'll let you decide. My instinct is less detail. Silver Fox, me too. I've been Clauding most often. Interesting. Thoughts? Do you use ClaudeBot? I'm thinking about getting a Mac Mini. My thoughts are in office hours, both Brent Peterson and HT Snowday have installed ClaudeBot. They both say it's fucking remarkable. I respect both of them a lot. They both know what they're doing, and they're also both deeply expert enough in agentic AI that if they say ClaudeBot's a big deal, OpenClaw, it's now called, it's a big deal. So it's a big deal. And, lots of people have been saying it's a big deal, but like people I know that I deeply respect that know way the fuck more than I do are saying it's a big deal. So HT has actually agreed to do a learn out loud with OpenClaw. I'm probably in the next 2 or 3 weeks going to start bashing my head against a wall with it, because I just think it's worth. Like when I first got into AI, I tried to get Stable Diffusion running 9 different times. I failed 9 times getting it up and running on a virtual machine because I'm not very technical, but I just kept trying because it felt important. This feels like one of those. So yeah, I would say go for it. People are buying fucking insane Mac Minis. Like people are buying like $10,000 Mac Studios to run this thing with like 512 gigabytes of RAM and shit like that. So, I mean, do what you want. People are also running it like on phones and shit like that. But having a cordoned off machine is probably a good idea. Okay, 3, the creative ideas. The master creative brief has headline territory and visual direction per persona. Do you want the execution briefs to expand on those, developing them into 3 to 5 specific ad concepts per persona with copy variations? Or do you see those hooks as final? 3, please expand. Oh, that's interesting. MyClaw.ai lets you try OpenClaw for a monthly subscription, no setup required, and that was posted by Robert Scoble. So he follows this shit. Okay, those are the 3 answers. Okay, here we go. Let's see if we can get this thing to give us a good answer that we're happy with. Adonis Live, thank you. You're welcome. That's what we do here at the AI Learning Lab. We ramble incoherently for an hour and occasionally answer a question. Sorry, an hour and 9 minutes. Yeah. MP, I like Claude. I like Claude. I like turtles. Okay, you're right. There's a tension. The answer is both. The self-assessment should be the default primary CTA for the scene stage across all the personas. It's the most scalable door. It self-segments. It's shareable. Here's how I'd handle. Each brief should have a CTA ladder, one primary CTA per journey stage, not one CTA for the whole brief. I like that. At the scene stage, the assessment is almost always the right call. But at show up, it's come to office hours on Friday. I like that. At not alone, it's listen to a podcast episode or browse the community. The brief should make... See, here's what's powerful about this. I've been doing office hours for 2.5 years now. And I never thought about it as a just show up part of the community. Like I knew it was tied to the community, but I was thinking of it more like a media property. And this is really right, that it's like, if you go into the community, you actually have to figure some shit out. There's like an onboarding process, and there's a lot of people in there. You're like, oh, it's exhausting. Office hours, you can just show up. So I love that if it's just like, I just want to see what this thing's all about, office hours is a way to experience the community without having to do shit. You can just sit there and lurk. Oh, that's cool. This is why we do this work. The brief should make the right CTA obvious for each context, so whoever's producing the work doesn't have to think about it. Yes, I agree with that. Okay, single task principle still holds. Any individual piece of creative has one CTA. Good. But the brief covers multiple pieces of creative across multiple stages, so it needs multiple CTAs. I like it. On the tactical depth, agreed. Less. They should stay at the creative direction, messaging, and visual treatment. Channel recommendations, yes. Add format specs, no. The person reading the brief needs to know what to say. Yeah, okay. On expanding the creative ideas, this is where I want to push the furthest. Okay, good, fine. Here's the framework I'm proposing. Section 1, the persona, 1 page, who they are distilled, not a repeat of the full persona brief, a working summary. Their pain in 1 paragraph, the emotional state, the great repurpose face they're living, job loss, task erosion, world shifting. Section 2, the strategic insight, the single most important thing to understand about reaching this persona. Not the message, the insight underneath the message. For creative, it might be they need permission to touch the tools that terrify them, and they need permission to come from other creatives, not from a tech company. That's really good. That's really good. Strategic insight. For the seeker, it might be they don't need convincing, they need co-conspirators. 1 paragraph. This is the North Star for every creative decision in the brief. This is really good. Section 3, the journey and message map. The 5 journey stages. Seen, not alone, showed up, belong, lead. With persona-specific message, proof point, and call to action for each stage, pulled from the message architecture. This is cool. So for each persona, we're going to basically have 5 campaigns, which are the 5 campaigns are the different stages. So if you're just dipping your toe in the water, there's messaging for that. If you're like ready to figure out where you are on this journey, there's messaging for that. That's cool. Pulled from the message architecture, but tightened up and made actionable. This is the reference table. Section 4, creative concepts, 3 to 5 per persona. This is the heart of the brief. Each concept gets a working title, the headline territory, body copy direction, the emotional arc, not finished copy, visual treatment, the stages it targets, the CTA, the channels it's best suited for. These are specific enough to produce from, flexible enough to adapt. Good. Channel strategy, fine. Proof points and social proof. The specific testimonial, member stories, and evidence that work for this persona, pulled from the proof points library, which, by the way, Brandon and Andy, we need to make a proof points library. Basically just stories of shit people do that are decently well organized, categorized, so that we can pull stories for campaigns. Guardrails. This is persona-specific don'ts. I like this. Things that would alienate this specific audience. Beyond the universal, never use list. For the creative, it might be never show AI as replacing the artist. Always show it as an instrument the artist wields. That's fucking huge. For the displaced professional, it might be never imply that they need to start over. Always frame it as building on what they already have. This is really good. That's 7 sections, same 7 for all 5 personas, same headers, same order, same level of depth, same framework. The reason you want to do a frame, like a consistent structure, is that I don't want to have to learn how to read each brief as a separate cognitive load. Like Claude will absolutely just write these things however it wants to write them. But if we tell it we want it to follow the same structure, great. Okay, framework looks good as is. Boom. Who should we do first? The self-aware seeker or the creative professional? I don't know. What do you guys think? Hey, late. Hey, Corey Sandler was shaking. Should we do the creative professional or the self-aware seeker? Self-aware seekers are more like people that are already in the salon. They're kind of curious. They're already in. They just don't know what to fucking do next. They're trying to keep up. They realize they can't. They know everything's about to change. All right, nobody cares. This is up to me. I know what I can do. To flip a coin. All right. And if the people jump types because people evolved, the messaging is recognizable. Yeah. Well, don't forget, this is a marketing campaign. So what we're trying to do is put messages out there where if people are at these, like everyone's at different stages, right? And no one's going to fit into an exact persona. But if we've got a creative professional that's stuck at this place between, I want to use AI, but I feel like that's betraying my craft. If we put a message out there that's like, do you want to use AI but feel like you're betraying your craft? You should come join us, right? Creative professional. Okay, let me flip a coin. So heads is creative professional, tails is self-aware seeker. Heads, creative professional. We're going in. Silver Fox wins. Okay, creative professional. All right, here we go. Some folks would be in between. Yeah, exactly. That's fine. Someone who's in between. So the thing about all of these phases is that they are likely nonlinear. They probably evolve every 2 or 3 months. You're probably going back in the phases, then forward in the phases. No one's ever static. We just have to figure out something to communicate. So if someone is in a cusp in between two phases, or they're kind of in both phases, and you message one of the phases, they're close enough that it'll probably resonate with them. Yep. What are the choices? Well, the choices are, so we have 5 different personas. So we just picked the creative professional, right? And then the creative professional has 5 different stages that we're targeting. One is just they don't really know anything about the salon. One is they want to dip their toe in the water. One is they want to join. One is they want to, do things like mastermind. And one is they want to start leading. They want to teach an LOL. They want to start leading within the community. So it's kind of five levels of depth within the community that we're targeting. We'll likely start out on the nobody knows who the fuck we are, right? So we don't have to do all of these for all personas. But what we do want is we want some options. We want to be able to say, hey, if we want someone who's a little farther down that chain, because we might want to market within the community for like, hey, have you thought about teaching an LOL, right? Part of generous leadership and part of your path to mastery is teach other people what you know, right? So that could actually be a marketing campaign within the community, and not marketing like we're trying to sell them something, marketing like, here's why it's valuable for you to sort of level up within the community. Creative professional campaign brief as a polished Word document. I hope this doesn't suck. I don't think it will. I mean, we've put in enough time. How are we doing on time? 9:20. We've put in enough time, and we kind of know what the raw materials are. Like, this document is really a synthesis of the other documents. And then there's going to add a little bit in there, but it's really just a synthesis of what we've already created. So there shouldn't be any surprises. I don't think about leveling within the community, but that's huge. Yeah, I mean, communities are funny, and it's like historically, like I mean, I've started a number of communities in my lifetime, and I started a big one in the early days of the World Wide Web. That one had the advantage of it was in Manhattan. So you've got whatever Manhattan has, 9 million people or 16 million people. How many people are in Manhattan? It's a lot. Or Manhattan, I think, has 6 million. I don't know. I don't know how much it is. It's a lot. There's a lot of people there. And it's all concentrated. So you know, if you do something that resonates, then it'll just grow. So we didn't have to think about this stuff. Online communities are weird because it's really easy to lurk. And lurking in the salon is okay, right? Coming to meetings and not participating is okay. But the future of all of our ability to work is going to be tied to how we show up in the space. Because what's going to happen at some point, SourceCamp or HT or someone in the community is like, I need to hire someone. And I'm going to first go look in this community. And if I know that this person shows up and they're professional and they care about the work and they're trying to level up their game, they're going to get hired first. So we're at a different time in history. All right. Campaign brief persona 1. Holy shit, we're here. So in theory, not in theory, if this doesn't suck, we can go over to GenSpark Designer and start making some fucking creative. Oh, yeah. All right. 200% so y'all can see it. AI Salon campaign brief. Persona 1, the creative professional under siege. My clients are replacing me with a prompt. That's fucking painful every time I read it. The persona, the work that defined me, is changing faster than my identity can keep up. Who they are: graphic designers, illustrators, copywriters, voice actors. The pain, their livelihood is being commoditized in real time. The great repurpose connection. This persona lives in all three phases of the crisis simultaneously. Some are losing work outright. Some keep working, but losing specific tasks that made it meaningful. All of them are feeling the ground shifting. The phone stops ringing. The rates drop. The world just doesn't value what it used to. Their identity is fused to specific creative tasks. So when AI absorbs those tasks, the wound is existential. Yes. If anyone can make what I make, what am I? Their emotional state, this is good, humiliated, angry, grieving, isolated. You know, we have in the salon, you know, we talk about our values a lot. One of the values is empathy. Creatives in particular are fucking pissed off. They're angry. They're angry. Why? Because their identity is fused to specific creative tasks that AI is absorbing. The wound is existential. They're humiliated, they're angry, they're grieving. Empathy is critical, right? So if we can say, hey, we've got a bridge for you to cross, where you can cross this bridge and not lose face, right? You can be angry and you can learn stuff, and you can learn that you can reclaim your agency and use AI as a tool for your own self-expression. They're isolated. Most of their creative peers are either in denial or quietly panicking. They don't have a room where they can say, I'm scared, without losing face. That's what I just said. That's it. They are scrolling creative forums at midnight looking for someone who understands. They feel like the craft they spent a lifetime building was a waste. The sentence that stops them scrolling: your clients replaced you with a prompt. Your rates cratered, the phone stopped ringing. That's real. And there's a room full of people who know exactly what that feels like. That's good. That's really good. It's really good. So you see how this is going to work? So for each of our personas, we're going to have this. And so any of the ads that come out of it ladder back up to this, ladder back up to the other documents, right? Ladder back up to the salon brand and our values. This is how it's supposed to be done. The strategic insight. 2, Creative professionals need permission to touch tools that terrify them. And that permission has to come from other creatives who've made the same journey, not from a tech company, not from a LinkedIn influencer, not from clients who've replaced them. Every competitor in this space treats the creative crisis as a skills problem. Learn Midjourney in 30 days.
You can make money with ChatGPT.
Prompt engineering's for designers. The framing is exactly wrong. A designer who already feels like their craft is being stolen does not want to be told to master a tool that's stealing it. That's so good. The instruction deepens the wound. So good. What they need first is to be in a room where their grief is acknowledged, where someone says your rate's cratered and that's real. And then to watch another creative, someone who was where they are, pick up a tool and make something extraordinary with it. Not as a lesson, as a moment. That's the Jim Ross story. That's the AI Learning Lab. That's the salon. And we can find other stories. You know, this thing only knows the Jim Ross story. I think I only give it one or two stories, but we can populate these with other stories. The creative's path is grief to permission to play to a new relationship with their craft that's actually more them, not less. That's really good. The salon's job in marketing is to make that first step, grief acknowledged, and the second step, permission to play, visible from the outside. Right? So imagine if you're feeling lost, so you're just like your rates have cratered. That sucks, right? The antidote, start playing. We are, or whatever it is. We'll see what it gets to when it has ideas, but this is cool. One more thing. This persona has the highest evangelist potential in the entire campaign. Creative transformation is visible. A designer can show a before and after. A writer can share a piece that would have never existed without AI. When a creative professional moves from AI is ruining my career to I'm making work I couldn't have imagined, that transformation becomes the salon's best marketing, right? That's Joy Purdy. The campaign should be designed, that's Kelly Besh. The campaign should be designed to surface and amplify those stories. That's really good. The journey and message map. So here's the 5 stages. The scene stage, they're feeling humiliated, angry, grieving. The phone stopped ringing, the rates are creating. The message, you didn't become a designer, writer, photographer to be replaced by a prompt. The tools that threaten your craft can become the most powerful creative instruments you've ever touched, but not alone, not without someone acknowledging what it actually feels like. Proof point, the Great Repurpose article. Call to action, take the Great Repurpose self-assessment. Okay. Not alone, isolated. The salon, most creative peers are in denial or quietly panicking. No room to say I'm scared. The AI salon started as a room full of creative people figuring out how to wield AI as a medium rather than be replaced by it. These are people who were where you are, and now they're making things they never could before. This is really good. Okay. Self-assessment is hinge. Creative concepts. Concept 1, the phone stopped ringing. Stage, scene, channels, Instagram, creative, Slack, Discord, Twitter, threads. Take the self-assessment. Take the self-assessment. I don't quite know why, but that's okay. Lead with specific, visceral experience of creative displacement, not the abstract concept. Name the things that nobody else is naming out loud. A scroll-stopping power is the precision. Not AI is disrupting creative industries, but your client just paid $47 a month for what you spent 20 years learning to do. That's fucking painful. Headline territory. Your clients replaced you with a prompt. Now what? Your 20 years of experience is now a ChatGPT subscription. The phone stopped ringing. You're not imagining it. If anyone can make what I make, what am I or who am I might be better. The emotional arc. Open with recognition of the wound. Hold the pain for a beat. Don't rush the solution. Then that's real. And there's a room full of people who know exactly what that feels like. This call to action is the self-assessment. Find out where you are in the Great Repurpose. 1.6 according to ChatGPT, but that's Manhattan only. Kyle Shannon only has 54,000. Concept 2, the instrument, not the replacement. Stage, seen to not alone. Show the transformation, not just the pain. The concept features the before and after of the creative. This is really good. Okay. There's probably things in here that aren't perfect, but what we're going to do is because I want to get some shit done tonight. We're at 9:30. I'm going to move this into our folder. I think I'm going to make a new folder, and this is going to be the campaign briefs. Create. Move. And then I'm going to download a PDF of this. We're almost there, kids. All right. Click to open. Did it make this? Yeah, I did. This is I did a deck today about the Great Repurpose. It's got broken images in it. All right, whatever. I'll come back to that. Okay, we're going to do new. Hi there, what can I help you with? Okay. You can help me with, choose from Google Drive. I like that. Because that way we can update files in Google Drive. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Shared drives, AI Salon. Marketing promotions, 2026 marketing. Campaign briefs. AI Salon campaign. Okay. That's that. Okay, I'm going to say, KS only has 54,000. KS equals Kansas. I thought you were giving me a few more subscribers on TikTok than I had. Why is it stuck? I don't know. Okay. Oh wait, we don't want super agent, do we? We want designer. We want designer. I think we want designer. Fuck it. We want designer. All right. Plus Google Drive. Did it remember my folder? Yes, sort of. Great Repurpose. No, that's not what I wanted. It didn't remember my drive. Asshole. Okay, so there's that. Then we're going to say, please read this campaign brief as well as look at the style of the salon.ai from a visual perspective that should match the brief. When in doubt, lean closer to the website than the brief. Okay. Before you create anything, let me know if you understand the task at hand And what you're going to do, and if you have any new original ideas, I'd like to hear those too. Because Claude is okay, but it was designed to be a coder. This is GenSpark Designer. It's got a bunch of tools in it that are actually really good. So we might as well ask it to give ideas too. It's going to follow the thing, but all right, here we go. Bang. Whoo! You know, it's funny. Like, we're going to do all this over 4 days, and we're doing like the work that we're doing here. If you hired a traditional agency, if you did this the olden timey way, like 3 years ago, this is to do it right. Months. Agency comes back. Like, every time it got it wrong, and I was like, no, go change that. And it took like 15 minutes to get through that resistance. That's a week, right? With an agency. And we're now on our 5th document. And these are not just documents, right? This is research and work and creative concepting and articulating it and writing it and presenting it and being the asshole client that goes, no, you got it completely wrong. I like green. Make it green. Can we make it more green? Is there green? Can we do green? They're like, the colors are irrelevant. What about the ideas? I like green. Can we make it green? Have you ever had a client? They suck. Oh, we got a lot of stuff going on. Good Lord. Producer Brandon's got a whole list of promo for me to do here. Oh, look, it went and found some images. Nice. See that? It's learning. Using tool, image search. Using tool, understand images. So it went and got those images off our website. Now it's understanding them. This is why this tool is really powerful. If you haven't used GenSpark Designer, now it's reading the salon's values. Now it's reading the about page. Now it's thinking. Yes, I understand the task. Here's my plan. I've thoroughly reviewed the campaign brief. It's fucking amazing. AI is just a fucking mind fuck. Every fucking time it just blows my mind. This is a deeply nuanced project, and I want to make sure we're aligned before creating anything. What I understand, the persona, the creative professional under siege, they are designers, illustrators, copywriters, photographers, voice actors, people whose identity is fused to their craft. This isn't a skills gap they're facing, it's an existential crisis. Their clients are replacing them with prompts, their rates have cratered, the phone stopped ringing, and they're scrolling creative forums at midnight looking for someone who understands. The strategic truth, the campaign is not about teaching them AI. It's about giving them permission to touch the tools that terrify them. And that permission must come from other creatives who've made the same journey. This is the salon. This is why it exists. This campaign is not about teaching them AI. It's about giving them permission to touch the tools that terrify them. And permission must come from other creatives who've made the same journey. That's great. It's so good. The journey, grief to permission to play to transformation, the visual language. What I plan to create, based on the 5 concepts in the brief, I can produce campaign visuals across the journey. I'd suggest starting with the phone stopped ringing, the instrument, not the replacement. I don't like that headline, but that's okay. Permission to play. These are campaigns. I can produce campaign visuals across the journey stages. Okay, got it. Original ideas I'd like to propose. So now we're getting ideas that did not come out of our campaign brief, which if you have a campaign brief and you give it to a good agency, any good agency worth paying will say, I love the ideas in here. We thought we'd throw in some as well. The scroll at midnight, the deeply intimate visual, the glow of a phone screen in the darkness, someone scrolling creative forums. There's a specific loneliness the brief names. The headline, You're not imagining it, and you're not alone. Same hands. A visual series showing creators' hands holding traditional tools, pen, camera, brush, that are transforming. I hate that one. The room exists, abstract, warm, figures gathering. For the permission to play stage, the message, there's a room full of people who know exactly what that feels like. That's good. $47 a month, a stark, almost confrontation visual that names the absurdity. Your 20 years of experience is now a ChatGPT subscription. It's crazy. Which concepts would you like me to create first? Let's say, okay, so let's see. So we're going to go 1. Start with the basics from the brief, and then add in your $47 a month idea. 2, which channels are priority? Instagram, 1-to-1, stories, 9x16, or something else? Do both 1-to-1 and 9x16 for now. 3, any of my original ideas resonate? Yes. Number 4 to start. 4, do you have any specific headlines you'd like me to use? The brief offers excellent headline territory. I can select from those or riff off them. Use the good ones. Riff if you need something better. Be critical and talented. Tell it to be talented. I think I've told this story before in here. I was in an acting class once, and this pair of actors got finished doing the scene, and the acting teacher said to the woman, yes, let's try it again. And why don't this time through, why don't you try it as if you had talent? Fucking acting is a brutal fucking it's a brutal fucking sport. All right, here we go. Don Draper in a bottle. This is totally Don Draper in a bottle. This is what agencies did. did. I ran one. I know. Design preparation. There we go. So now we got image research over here. Generate image. This is so good, people. It's so good. Keaton Hoskins, what are we doing tonight? What tool are we using right now? Using Claude Code or Open Code? We used Claude, just Claude.ai, Opus 4.6 for the last 3 nights. We've been creating foundational briefs for a marketing campaign for the AI Salon. Tonight, we took those foundational documents. Ooh, these are cool. We took those creative documents, or those foundational documents. We created a campaign brief for one of 5 different personas of people who we think would be find the AI salon really valuable. And now we're in GenSpark Designer, getting it to take our campaign brief and generate generate shit. Okay. The phone stopped ringing. You're not imagining it, with a camera on it. The salon.ai. That's pretty cool. And I'd throw, like our logo down here. In fact, why don't we? So one of the things you can do here is you can just prompt it. Why don't you add the AI salon logo from the website in the lower right here? And I might need to upload. But anyway, so that's that one. Okay. The phone stopped ringing. You're not imagining it. Your 20 years experience lost on a technology that's now a $47 a month subscription. The salon.ai. This is cool. Let's say your typos here are impressive. Let's try making actual words. Oh, did it eat it ate my prompt because it was designing something. God damn it. Please fix the typos in the copy and add in the AI Salon logo. 20 years experience is now a $47 a month subscription. I feel like this should add, like we should add something here, like we understand. All right, let's see what this thing's doing. It just made up an AI Salon logo. Oh, it actually got, I don't know what that is. I think it just made that up. Okay, let's go. Let's see, browse from local files. Salon logo. This is the AI Salon logo. Incorporate it into the ads. Do another pass. Okay, let's see. Is that it? Oh, that's all it gave us. Why did it only give us one look and feel? It's cool, but it doesn't have the URL on it. But that's okay. We can link to it. Where are the other designs, concepts, stages, etc.? You just gave me one, and the brief indicates a lot more than that. What up? Question mark. That's the other salon's logo. I thought it was. Motherfucker. These are wonderful. They're way cool. Yeah, isn't this cool? And like what's when you do messaging this way, you can tie it all the way back up. You can tie it back to, if you're feeling this kind of frustration, we get you, right? These are cool. It's very cool. It's very cool. Oh, you know what I need to do? Oh, it's generating images already. Shit. I need to tell it to put the URL in there. You need to also include the URL below the logo, thesalon.ai. I'm going to stop it, and I'm going to add that in. Yeah. I agree. Yeah, we'll add the logos after, because this will just keep fucking them up. Text to, call me old school. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. What website is this? We are in GenSpark.ai, and then if you select, there's a bunch of tools that it has, and we're in a tool called GenSpark Designer. So it creates this infinite canvas, and what we uploaded a campaign brief that we created from a bunch of foundational documents all week. This week we've been working on them. And then we uploaded that. We told it to go look at the website for look and feel, colors, and things like that. And then it's just off doing its thing. Concept 3, permission to play. Concept 2, the instrument. Concept 3, permission to play. Concept 2, the instrument. All right, completed. Oh, I like this one. These are cool. Oh, that's so good. Bring your curiosity. That's the whole ask. Friday at 1 p.m. That's really good. And notice how it changed the color of the logo. It kept it correct, and it put the URL there. So that's pretty groovy. That's pretty good. Bring your curiosity. That's the whole ask. That's really good. Same hands, new instrument. Work you couldn't have imagined. This isn't a class. It's a room full of people like you making things. Huh. The tools that threaten your craft can become the most powerful instruments you've ever touched. I hate that illustration style, but that's all right. We can tell it to knock that shit off. This work didn't exist before AI. It's more me, not less. Yeah, this is so here's what I would consider what we have here is like we've got think of these as like design prototypes. So we can now go to Midjourney and create images there that are more to our liking. Like you said, Andy, we can put we can do the typography in Canva, the logos and shit like that. Like we can set up a template that just makes it really easy to just drop in an image, drop in a headline. But we can take the campaign briefs and we can pull the headlines out ourselves, just pull them out of there, copy them and paste them into things like this. Some of these might be good enough to use. Some of them might not. I went from AI is ruining my career to this, which that's a horrible fucking image. But imagine if that image didn't suck. Play first isn't a slogan. It's Tuesday night. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. These are great. This is fucking solid. Let's see. Do you have another look and feel and headline concept? Let me see 5 more images different from what we have now, but from the brief. Yeah, these are cool. These are cool. I'll tell you that. The phone stopped ringing. You're 20. Actually, this is the wrong headline. Your 20 years of experience is now a $47 a month subscription. It should be your 20 years of experience is now a $20 a month subscription. That's a horrible fucking image, but imagine if it didn't suck. Well, exactly. Just imagine how good this ad would be if that image wasn't ass. I'm so fucking tired of AI generated swirls and twirls and fractal explosions of circuitry. It's so fucking dumb. If we were in 1982 and you had to do this with an airbrush, I'd be impressed. Oh, I know you're quoting me. It's so good. All right. Let's see. We're making more images. All right. And it's time. All right. We'll look at 5 more and then we will call it a night. Let's see. I think we're going to get 5 different looks and feels here. Oh, these are, yeah, we are. This is great. AI raises the floor for everyone. Only your vision, taste, and judgment raise the ceiling. See, that's fucking good. And that image isn't horrible. I mean, I kind of hate this style, but it's not horrible. This I like a lot. Your clients replaced you with a prompt. Now what? And look at the fucking janked out, JPEG'd. This is so good. Yeah, beam me up. This is the beam me up ad. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. AI raises the floor for everyone. Only your vision, taste, and judgment raise the ceiling. And then I feel like we should have some sort of like, we get it, or we hear you, we see you. Your clients replaced you with a prompt. Now what? That's really good. There's a room full of people who know exactly what that feels like. I guess that's the second line to a headline. The opposite of a webinar, Friday at 1 p.m. That's kind of cool. Although I'd probably use images of people, but whatever. If anyone can make what I make, what am I? I think, isn't it who am I? Come on. Headline should be, if anyone can make what I make, who am I? Question mark. All right. So we've got to start. We've got to start, people. And this is just a start. And then we'll have 5 sets of these, right? For different. So this is the creative professionals one. Then we'll have a whole nother set of these for seekers, people that understand what's going on. We'll have a whole nother set for displaced and dysregulated educators. We'll have one for executives in transition, right? This is quite powerful. And you know what I'm almost thinking, Andy? I mean, it's like we can do this in a couple of ways. One is we could say we pick the top 5 that we like and we just hand build them. The other way is just let this create a shit ton of stuff and then just pick the ones that suck the least and just experiment with them. Okay. So here's the deal. Oh, let's see if this one's good. I think this is actually a really good ad. If anyone can make what I make, who am I? And then there should be some call to action, like the AI salon, you know, we understand, or we've been there, or we're going through it too. Something down here, or something, you know, in the copy around the image. I say suck the least in experiment. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, right? Because this would be like, I'm fine putting this out. This isn't really necessarily our, you know, sort of aesthetic, but it's kind of cool, and it's worth experimenting with. Just put these things out there. The other thing that we can do, irregulars, here's where you can come in. We're not going to necessarily do paid campaigns on this. We might experiment with that, but this is about just getting more people to the salon. So what we can do is we'll create a, what's it called, a swipe folder. Like, these are swipe graphics. So we'll create a folder full of any of these, and you can basically just go in there, take any ads that you like, and just go post them to your socials, right? Okay, so I listen, this week was a success. We didn't get to vibe code the thing, but maybe we'll start that next week. But we did our foundational documents. Once you do that work, like, that's the hard fucking work. Now you can start to roll these things out and go, do I like it? Do I not? Experiment with it, put it out there, see if it makes any noise. And if not, then, you know, next. Like AI festivals. Yes, exactly. Okay. So your weekend homework, should you choose to accept it, I haven't thought about this, but given what we did this week, and given that between Andy and producer Brandon, they kept me on task enough to actually do what I said we were going to do, which I don't know that that's ever happened on this channel. I think it happened the Back to Basics week. It happened that week. And I think it's happened this week. What I would say is this. Spend the weekend, you know, take an idea and really sort of build the foundation for what you want to do first, like with documents that help you understand what you're trying to do. So start with yourself, get clear with, what am I trying to do here? And if you've been here this whole week, you know that when I started this process, I didn't even know how to ask the question. I didn't really know what I was asking for. Claude figured it out for me, right? And then once I saw it, I was like, oh, that. Oh, not that. Oh, that, right? My job is to maintain the fidelity of the idea. Let the AI just fuck up and do all its shitty shit. Just know it's going to do shitty shit. Your job is to hold the center, right? So I would say do that this weekend. Come up with some idea. Build a foundation for it, and then let that foundation turn into something that realizes and articulates your idea in a way that you never would have gotten to. Chainsaw, I don't like the direction this community is going. Productivity is not something we do here. Exactly. That's a good one, Chainsaw. Okay. So here's a bunch of stuff going on. Tomorrow, there's an LOL. Is it at 4 o'clock? Brandy was on it. EST, 4 EST. Okay, 4 o'clock EST tomorrow is an LOL, a learn out loud. If you're vibe coding and you want to know how to make your apps commercial, that's what that session is about tomorrow. So go check that out. We sent out a survey via email. So check your email, check your salon email. We sent out a survey basically saying, what do you want the salon to be more of? Like, do you want it to be productive? Chainsaw clearly wants it to be chaos. Fill out that survey, or don't bitch about what we've created, right? We're going to take that survey. We're going to look at what you want. We're going to ignore most of it, but there's going to be some good ideas in there, right? I'm only being facetious. We'll probably only ignore half of it. But, you know, we'll look at them all. We'll look at where the commonalities are, and we're going to do what we can to improve the community. So please go find that survey and take that survey. Okay, in challenges and competitions, there's a life hacks challenge and competition, and there's an 11 Labs one. So that's that. And then Monday, we've got Cindy Kuhn's third week of her prototyping practice, turning your practice into a system, which is really good. If you haven't been to it, it's worth going to. So week 3 is this coming Monday. And then AI for All Minds and the business thing. When are they? Are they Monday as well? Or Monday as well. So what you need to do is this. Can you pop up the community.thesalon.ai on screen? Just go to the community website and click on events. Go look at events. There's lots of events coming up. So the next one is tomorrow. Woo! Okay. That's it. I'm exhausted. This was a long week. Being productive sucks. It doesn't actually. I like it, but it's like it's to get work to a level beyond that one ad, this ad, the ascension of all humanity up into the spaceship. Elevating your work above the floor requires work and judgment and taste and commitment and understanding what you're trying to do. So I feel like that's what we did this week. So it's not as sexy and flashy, but in the end, it'll create better work. All right. All right, everybody. Fantastic. I'm going to get on out of here. Hope you had a good time tonight. You want to see the, oh, we're sharing the ads. I'm not sharing them on screen. All right. I'm going to go. Peace out. Have yourself a fantastic weekend. Thanks for hanging out on Friday Night Date Night. Bye.